In the repair shop today, Lucia fires on all cylinders.
It's the first time I've ever worked on an object like this, and I feel very privileged.
As she teams up with Dom to restore a racing bike part that's past its glory days.
I'd like to actually bolt it to the stand.
Dom,
what do you think?
You haven't read my mind at all.
You love it? We're both in the...
While Brenton sees double, taking on a pair of ornamental ladies who have fallen from grace.
I can see why they've broken, because these are really heavy. Any sort of impact on this tiny little joint is going to cause that to happen. It's the weakest part of the whole thing.
But the barn's first arrival is Janine King, who's brought along a unique family heirloom that's down on its luck. She hopes Steve Fletcher's mechanical skills will be able to give it another chance.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. Nice to meet you both.
Likewise. Now, that looks it's like a pinball machine. What is that?
Well, it is a pinball machine. It's
Okay.
actually a bar pinball machine. It was actually on the bar of the Royal Oak pub in Whitfield.
OK.
My great-grandparents became the landlords of the pub in 1934, and my grandparents helped my great-grandparents run the pub. And
Sounds
then-
like a family affair.
It was a family affair.
Right.
And my mum was brought up in the pub, and then my auntie was actually born in the pub. In those days, a village pub was always welcoming. Your friends were there, you could play dominoes and darts, and Mum played skittles there and tells me the stories of singing and dancing on the bar.
Sounds like a real hub of the community.
It certainly was, and this was always on the bar.
How long did your family run the pub, then?
The pub was in the family for 30 years. And then when the new landlords took the pub over, my mum took this because she loved it too.
Right.
It's just a very unusual machine. As a little girl,
Yeah.
it was in our garage.
Yeah.
And I said to my mum and dad, oh, I really like that. You know,
Right.
can I have that in my bedroom?
Yeah.
And it's been with me ever since.
This is obviously really important to you, isn't it?
Oh, it's massively important to me. I played with it constantly as a child, and in fairness, I've played with it constantly as an adult until it broke.
Right.
And it has a real sense of generation and fun. There is a slot here to put a penny in.
Yeah.
Right.
But it will work regardless of whether or not you put the penny
Right.
in or not. I think it's just the sound of it. It's just the way that you turn the handle and then you flick the trigger and the release of the pins. It's just got really good
nice,
sound.
Are the balls still inside there?
I do know one is because there was one ball stuck in there and we went like that and it actually dropped down.
It's
So
gone.
I have vaguely remembered somebody getting into the drawer, but
Does the drawer... You have the key for the drawer?
no.
OK.
I'd love to find out what's in that drawer. I don't know, because so out of interest, I don't know what's in there.
You're looking forward to fixing this one?
I really am.
Yeah?
I'm looking forward to fixing it and playing.
OK. Thank you for bringing it in.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, both of you. I really appreciate it.
You take care now.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you. This machine makes me think about my family that I love. It really does bring back the memories of real happiness, and to hear those sounds of my childhood would be absolutely wonderful.
How are you going to fix this one, then?
I mean, there are so many unknowns about this. I've got to try and find how the mechanism works and then work out what's broken and
Fix
work
it.
out how to fix it.
OK. The woodwork on the outside needs a bit of tidying up. I can ask Will if you could do something
Yeah, that'd be
on
good.
that. But Janine definitely wants that sound and she remembers what it sounds like.
Oh, the sound is going to be everything to her.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you. I think the first thing I'm going to do is just see if I can get into the back, see what sort of mechanism there is. I can hear some balls rolling about, but I think they are in the box that is locked at the moment, so I've got to get it into that. Great. And there we have ball bearings. Just going to take the drawer front off. I can actually take this lock apart and actually make a key that's going to fit. Good. I can actually see just here, one of the arms has broken off completely here. So instead of the balls being contained between these 4 arms, it's actually falling out of this corner. So I need to take this off, repair all of this. But I need to finish taking off all these bits and pieces of furniture off of the case, and then I get it over to Will, and then he can work his wonders on this.
Next to arrive at the barn is Dan Bartram from Watford, with an item that's had an exhilarating heyday. It requires the expertise of paintings restorer Lucia Scalisi and the design brain of Dominic Chinea.
Hi there.
Hey.
What is this, firstly?
So this is the nose cone from a 1960s drag racing motorbike.
You're kidding.
Yeah, so this was built by my dad and his brother, so they were both drag racers, building everything from scratch. This was moulded by them, it was painted by them and put on the front of their bike to go and race.
Brilliant.
But how does that differ to normal motorbike racing?
So it's straight line, so two
as
bikes
fast as you
next
can
to each
go.
other, fast as you can, quarter of a mile.
Yeah. Imagine going that fast on something you made in the shed. Brave. Very brave.
Very brave. And what's the 0 to 60 then?
A couple of seconds max, I imagine.
Yeah. So, yeah, where does it go on the bike then? So
you imagine the handlebars would sort of be at the front and you'd be looking through this tiny little window while you're going at about 200 miles an hour down Santa Pod Raceway.
What was your dad's name?
Chris. So Chris and Tony Bartram. My dad and his brother were the Rebel brothers. They were pretty successful. My dad attempted the world record, broke it on the first run, you have to do 2.
Yeah.
And on the way back, the engine blew up.
Pieces of engine all over the floor.
Yeah, bits everywhere.
God.
It's just a cool thing to remember of your dad, you know, and the things they used to do.
Would this have actually been transferable to any bike then that he had?
Yeah. They built 2 bikes, the Rebel 1 and the Rebel 2. My dad was about to make Rebel 3. This was going to go onto the Rebel 3 for their final bike.
Yeah.
Sadly, my dad died before he could finish Rebel 3, so this was on the garage floor for decades.
Do you mind if I ask what happened to your father? Was it motorbike related or?
So he died of an aneurysm. So very suddenly, we just came home one day and that was...
Really?
Sadly, yeah. My dad died when I was 13, my little brother was 10. He was our hero when we were kids. Nothing was ever too much trouble in bringing us up. No. But sadly, yeah, we didn't have too much time with him in the end. This is something that I think just links so well to him. 5 days ago, I had a son.
So congratulations!
Thank you.
Brilliant.
I didn't look too tired.
No, you're doing well.
A few sleepless nights. I'd really love him to have a link to his granddad and, and be able to see this, wonder what it was, and us to be able to talk to him and tell him about all the stories we've discovered.
So what would you like us to do with this?
So I see it as an ornament, almost like a sculpture. I'd love to see it back to its glory days, high gloss, shining, British racing green, but having a little nod to my dad and my uncle and the hand painting and all the things that make it so personal to them.
Wow, we're going to have to be careful with this one, Dom.
Yes, please.
It's in good hands.
Thank you so much for bringing this in.
Not at all. Thank you for even attempting to have a go and try and bring it back.
Yeah, no, lovely to meet you.
Angie?
See you later.
Bye.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything's different in here, isn't it?
I know.
I'm really excited to have left the nose cone with Lucia and Dom. I've given them a challenge. It's for me, it's for my brother, it's for my uncle, and it's for my son. I think it's going to be something we share around the family, and we want to be able to hold on to it and look back at Dad, but I think we're getting it repaired for all of us.
How are you going to make that look new and shiny, presentable, but keep the history of Dan's dad?
I think initially we're just going to have to see if the surface is going to be improvable, because there's obviously a lot of polish and stuff from over the years.
Yep.
But I think once they start doing the retouching on these really damaged areas, it'll look so different. But it's not going to look brand new.
Once you've got it looking amazing, we've got the tricky job of somehow displaying this.
Yeah, it needs to have a stand that it's going to sit on, but can easily be lifted off as well. So it's a bit of a challenge.
I'm up for the challenge.
And I'll start looking at some cleaning tests and see what the potential is there.
I look forward to seeing it.
OK.
All right.
It's the first time I've ever worked on an object like this, and I feel very privileged. There's so much family history to this. I love it, and this is Dan's father's writing. So I'm going to treat this as if it was the surface of a painting, so these are quite delicate tests, and my first one is my trusty spit test. What I'm seeing as this is drying, there's definitely an oily residue on the surface, which will have been left by other cleaning agents in the past. The solubility of the paint layer is really important. I have to find something I can use on the surface that isn't going to lift the paint. This is a type of a white spirit, but a very high-grade one. Let's see what happens with this. There's nothing on there at all, so I'm going to use that to clean the surface. And I think once we've done that, I can see how to proceed to the next stage.
Pinball Wizard Steve has managed to remove the machine's broken mechanism from its battered wooden case, so Will can do his part in making it fit for more old-fashioned fun.
Hey, Steve.
Got another little project for you here.
What on earth is that?
A bar top pinball machine. As well as needing a good polish up, it really needs a lot of gluing and screwing. So, if you would, I'd be very grateful.
Leave it with me.
OK, thank you.
Steve can now turn to his main repair, the broken chamber that the pinballs were falling out of into the bottom of the machine.
This really has suffered from the lever hitting it all the time. So I've decided I'd get some stainless steel and make another piece. This, I hope, is going to last for generations. I've made the new piece and the ball falls into that hole there. What happens is the lever hits the ball up like that and the ball will fly up and around and play the game.
Now that Will's strengthened the case with glue, he can turn to smartening up the wood's tatty finish.
I've managed to clean all the panelling and the casing. It's come up really well. I've taken off that nasty dirt. It looks quite dull at the moment, but when that first coat of polish goes on there, it's going to look lovely.
Still missing from the cabinet is the key for its lockable money drawer. Even for Steve, replacing this will be a task.
I've got hundreds and hundreds of your typical furniture key like this, but it's got to be a flat key because there's some levers in there that have to be lifted at the right height so that it will unlock. I'm going to have to take this lock apart and actually design a key. I can see here that there's just 2 levers. I've just got to make a key that will lift these 2 levers at the right height. And then the lock should work. I'm actually making the key out of an old scrap piece of brass that I've got. It'd be very, very frustrating if I take too much off. Lovely. That works really, really well. I'm very, very pleased with that.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, look at that. That looks absolutely fabulous.
It's polished up really well.
I'm going to have to really get this looking good as well, then.
Am I allowed to have a go when it's finished?
Yeah.
Yeah, you promise?
I'm going to beat you.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Cheers, Steve.
Suddenly had a good idea, I think it's a good idea, that because this busy bee came from the royal oak, I thought it'd be quite nice to actually make the head of the key into the shape of an acorn. And I've actually picked an acorn off the tree that's just outside there, so to give me a bit of an idea of the shape of an acorn. Just helped a little bit. That's going to look blooming marvellous.
Arriving at the barn are two more keepsakes, passed down through the generations. Owner Laraine Blakely is hoping silversmith Brenton West can help them stand the test of time.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Likewise. What have we got in the box then?
It's a family heirloom.
OK, let's have a look at it.
These are my silver mirrored ladies.
In a few pieces, yeah?
Yeah. Aren't they gorgeous?
They are.
They used to stand on there, like that. with
And then the mirrors will be on top
yeah.
of it.
They belong to my great-grandmother, Nanny Cheeseman. She passed them down to her daughter, my Nan. I pinched them from Nan.
OK.
I love them, so put them on my mantelpiece.
Yeah.
And sadly, about 20 years ago, they got knocked off their perch when they were in my possession after hundreds of
dear.
years of being handed down the family.
So these are from your mum's mum's mum.
Nanny Cheeseman. The next one down was Nanny Ginny.
Yeah.
And then there was my mum, and then me, and
Yeah.
then my family. So we're 5 generations.
So they've always stayed in the female family line then?
They just are very special. I lived with my great-grandmother. She had those when I was a little girl. My great-grandmother was born 1888.
That's like the Victorian times,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, she was born 1888, yeah. And, you know, she used to say, oh, light the light, let's make ourselves happy. And when the electricity came in, because before it's like, turn the mantle up.
Bless her, she sounds a joy.
Oh, she was lovely. She was my world.
Yeah?
I was closer to Nanny Cheese than I was to my mum. She was just really special. I suppose living with your great-grandmother, she was very Victorian. I mean, she taught me to cook.
Yeah.
Clean out chickens. I mean, you know, not
Clean out chickens?
Oh, yeah, I could clean a chicken.
So who else
And I
was in the
loved
house
her.
then? You had your Nanny Cheese
We had
in there?
Nanny Cheeseman and her husband. And then there was my mum and dad and my brother and me. And we all lived in the house. And it was a terrace house.
So in the house, where were these?
These were on her mantelpiece. But she put them in the parlour after a while.
Right.
Because, well, I think she was fearing that I would probably knock them off. But I just used to sneak in the parlour then and look in the mirrors.
have a look at 'em.
I don't know why I wanted to see myself so badly. I think the good thing was you could look in one
Yeah.
and see the back of your head in the other.
Yeah.
So
These mirrors must represent that wonderful childhood that you had with your
they
granny.
do. I think that's
Yeah?
why they are so important to me and why they need to be back out on my mantelpiece so that every day I can look at them and think, my Nan.
These look like they're spelter and they've been chrome-plated. So, I mean, they look as good as new like that, don't they?
They do like
You know?
that. It's a shame about the feet.
And who done that to the feet?
Oh, it was me, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I was desperate to get them back standing.
Did it work for a little while or not at all?
No, she just keeled straight over. If you can fix them, it would be absolutely wonderful.
Thank you for bringing these ladies in.
OK, thank you very much. Nice to meet you both.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The silver ladies mean a lot to me. They remind me of my great-grandmother. It would mean so much to me to see them standing there, strong ladies on my mantelpiece, ready to hand down.
That is a brilliant link to the past, isn't
It
it?
is, it's lovely.
Living with your mum's mum's mum.
And then nicking these off the mantelpiece.
These are quite heavy, aren't
They're
they?
very heavy, yeah. So I think I might have to make some sort of splint that goes up the legs to give it some strength. And these, I've noticed, are stone. I've just got to put some filler in there and paint it black again.
I really like these.
Yeah.
You got everything you need for
I've
this
got
one?
everything I need, yeah.
I'll take these over to you.
Thank you very much. Lorraine's little statues are beautifully sculpted, and I can see why they've broken, because these are really heavy, and any sort of impact on this tiny little joint of the feet on the base is going to cause that to happen, unfortunately. It's the weakest part of the whole thing. You can see on here the amount of glue that Laraine has applied to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is to get this glue off of the base, off of the feet, so that I can work out how to get these two parts married up again. Hopefully this acetone will dissolve the glue without damaging the nice shiny chrome underneath. It's a bit smelly. I want to get this done as quickly as possible.
Lucia's speeding ahead with her project, the drag racing bike's hand-painted nose cone. She's found the perfect means to give the surviving paintwork a shine without covering up the original brushwork.
I'm very pleased with the way that this is going. When I put this oil on, it's a synthetic polymer. Cars are now painted with this stuff, and it's a fantastic, flexible material. And basically what it's doing is, on a micro level, the surface is very pitted, so you're getting a very dusty-looking surface, and this fills that surface up, and the light gets reflected back to you very clearly. So when this dries, I'll be able to just rub it a little bit with a nice soft cloth, and it gives a really beautiful satin sheen. It's very satisfying, because when I'm doing this, I can see Dan's father's brushstrokes, and the beauty is in the imperfection. That's where it lies. The beauty and the enthusiasm.
With the original paintwork looking buff, Lucia can now apply her brush skills to the more serious damage.
The retouching is quite complicated. There are thick patches that are quite opaque, and there are very, very thin, transparent patches where the white of the fibreglass is showing through. I'm just sort of going to knock out the biggest ones so that your eye doesn't travel to them and sort of stop you looking at the whole object. If you just see the damage, it's a bit sort of psychologically upsetting, but I'm going to have to just work on it and see what I can achieve when I gradually build up the layers.
But before Lucia finishes her retouching of the cones, chips and dinks, there's the matter of its bespoke display stand. In the outdoor workshop, Dom's been mulling over some designs.
Hi, Dom.
Lucia, hey,
Hi.
you okay? How's
Yeah,
it going?
good. I brought the nose cone to show you.
It's looking good. That's probably more what it used to look like.
Yeah, I think so.
I've been drawing some ideas, and it's quite a unique object to display, isn't
Yeah.
it? I'd like to actually bolt it to the stand. Nice aluminium, maybe metal, like a steel frame.
Dom,
what do you think?
You haven't read my mind at all.
You love it? We're both on the...
No.
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 OK.
I had a completely different idea.
Where were you?
Perspex.
Like
Yeah.
clear acrylic?
Yeah, and like a very minimal stand.
Wow.
Because
God,
then it's not like such a big feature, and it also looks like it's going to be floating wherever it stands.
Oh, nice. OK. You know,
And
I
not
didn't even
fixed.
think that.
Because I think it's really important not to be fixed, because I'm sure they'll want to take it off and handle it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Clear acrylic.
Yeah.
I like it.
Good.
I'll probably make a little mock-up out of some wood.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll leave it with you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Lucia.
Thanks.
By doing this 3D wooden mock-up, I can actually test the structural integrity of it, make sure it's actually going to hold the weight of the nose cone. The idea is that should just almost balance there, just like that. Well, that couldn't have gone much better. The balance point is perfect, and I think it looks brilliant. This is where all those years at university come in handy. I now need to transfer this wooden mock-up into a computer file that I can send off to get cut out of acrylic.
Inside the barn, Steve's mechanical repairs to the bar pinball machine are complete.
Quite a lot of power to it. Will has done a lovely job of the case. Right, here goes. That's the noise that Jeannine will remember and want to hear again. When she hears that sound, oh my word, it'll be fantastic.
Tell me you finished.
I have.
It's working.
It is all working.
So we're going to have a go?
Yeah, let me show you.
Go on then.
200.
200, all right.
40. 50.
50.
290.
It's got to be Will have a go next. Will, it's 290 to beat. Oh, blimey, it's taking it seriously.
Okay,
How does this work, Steve?
Right, push the button to the side. And then the little button at the front there, twist it to catch a ball, and then twist it the other way.
And
And then
then...
flick that down.
Oh, I think this is rigged, Steve. There we are. There we go. 400. Hey! Thank you, thank you.
We best get this covered up. Jannine's going to be here in a minute.
I know.
You and Will, brilliant job.
Thank you.
When it arrived at the barn, the charming Busy Bee game that once graced the bar of a traditional family-run pub was so dilapidated it was beyond any use. Jeannine, whose grandparents used to run the Royal Oak, hopes to play the game again that she's adored since being a little girl.
My life doesn't seem complete without it. And I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous because it is just a game to a lot of people, but it represents the love and memories of my mum and my grandparents and the happy times we had together.
There she is.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good to see you again.
How you doing?
Very excited. I'm really looking forward to having the Busy Bee come home and being back in my sitting room.
OK.
Right, I can't wait.
You ready?
I am ready, but I'm really excited.
Brace yourself.
OK.
Right.
There we go.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I love it. Wow. Oh, can I touch it?
Yes.
Oh, the case is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. Will took care of that.
Wow. Thank you so much, Will.
You're welcome.
I am so pleased. I cannot tell you. And the ball bearings are in there.
Yes.
Can I try it?
Of course you can.
Right, OK, here we go. So, I love that sound. 300.
So playing it now, where does that take you back to?
It takes me back to being a little girl, having this in my bedroom, and always having this with me.
Yeah.
This is the bit I like the best now. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I love it. Absolutely made up.
There's just one other thing. I made something for you. It's a little acorn to represent the Royal Oak. It's actually a key for the
bottom drawer.
drawer.
Oh, that is so kind of you. Can I try and open the drawer?
Yes, you can.
Oh, and it turns so beautifully. Oh, it's lovely. Really kind, thank you. I'm going to keep it in there, always. I feel slightly overwhelmed, really, but also really happy that you've made something that I treasure so much, looks so wonderful, and the key is that special little touch.
I'm so glad we could do this for you. It's been a real pleasure.
It's going to get some hammering, I'm sure.
Let's get this home then. I'll get a
Thank you
door.
so much. Brilliant. I love it.
Bye-bye now.
You take care.
I could not believe how wonderful it looked. It does feel like I've gone back in time to my childhood, actually, and just being able to play it again and hear those sounds, that's brought so much happiness to me.
On Brenton's workbench, the task of getting the two mirror-holding ladies back on their feet is well underway.
I'm very carefully drilling a hole up between the feet of this statue so I can put a splint, which is made of brass, and I'm going to glue that into the legs. I'm going to drill a corresponding hole in the base. Hopefully that's going to line up, and I'm going to glue the two parts together with a really strong metal glue. I need to get in just over a centimetre, I think. I'm now going to mix up a little bit of epoxy resin and stick the pins into the holes and let those set. So this will reinforce the joint between the feet and the base. The pins are now nicely glued. I'm now using a very strong metal epoxy to bond those to the bases. So now I've got to hold that in position. The reason I'm gluing this rather than soldering it is these statues are made of spelter, and the solder that I would use might well melt the spelter, and the other problem with soldering is it will damage the chrome that's on there. This glue is really, really strong, and I'm confident that it will hold these as strong as they were when they were first made. See if that stands up by itself. That's great. She's standing by herself now, which she wasn't doing. So I'm going to leave those for a while and move on to the plinths. This stone is very, very soft, maybe alabaster. They are really badly chipped around their bases, and so if I rubbed it on this corner here, it would round the profile off, so I need to be very careful how I rub it down. So the point of rubbing down is to give a key for new paint that I'm putting on here. I'm just going to add some filler to the cracks and splits, and then I can rub those down and get them nice and smooth. So these are all rubbed down. I'm going to put some black primer on, and then I'm going to put some black gloss on. They're looking really nice now. As soon as they're dry, I can put the ladies back on them. They're going to look fabulous. OK, that is now reunited with its base. I've just got to do that with the other one, and we're nearly done. I think Laraine is going to absolutely love these when she sees them. I hope so, anyway.
In the outdoor workshop, the motorbike nose cones paintwork is now restored, thanks to Lucia. Dom's anxious to find out if the clever design for its display stand has been a success.
Dom.
Hey, Jay.
Look what I got.
Oh, yes. Oh, brilliant. Look at that.
That is beautiful.
Doesn't it look nice?
You got to try it. Come on, don't look at it. Just try it on.
What do you think?
It's going to work. It's going to work.
That should hopefully sit in there. Like that.
Now that is quality.
Oh, my God, I'm relieved. I can't tell you. it suddenly transforms it, doesn't it, from an awkward kind of object that you can't really stand upright to a piece of art.
So I can take it in now, get it ready for Dan?
Yeah, Dan can have it back now.
OK.
The battered, hand-painted nose cone saw a competitive motorcyclist who raced with his brother through many eventful drag races. Proud son Dan and sibling Andy are hoping it's now fit to be a display piece so they can remember their late dad and his prowess on the track.
I think today's really important just for both of us to pick it up as brothers when they did everything together themselves in their youth.
I don't have much to remember him by, because I was only 11 when he passed away.
You all right?
So, yeah, it would just be nice to have something to remember him by. I can't wait to see it.
Here they are.
Hi,
How we doing?
Hi, you're right.
You all right? Yeah, I'm very good.
Hi, Dan. I'm very well, thank you.
This is my brother Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hi,
Welcome.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is, under that blanket.
And we're pretty nervous, that's
What are you nervous about it?
It's a living memory of Dad, really, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's nice to have tangible memory, something physical to look at.
And to be seeing it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only way, really. Had to get us both down for this.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
That was
mad. I love the plinth.
That is pretty incredible.
You brought the shine back to life, that's the thing.
It's amazing.
It just looks so much cleaner and it's vibrant and and it looks as it was, just capable of being on display and not just left on the floor somewhere.
Perfect,
so
I would never have thought that would have come out like that.
But the idea
brilliant.
is that you can lift it off there, because we thought that you'd want to handle it.
There you go.
I can't even remember how
I haven't even seen this side.
Oh, wow.
Well
really
engineered.
Smooth as well. Really smooth.
It's the coolest thing. It's like it's a piece of sculpture.
Yeah.
It certainly is now.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
So does it give you that connection back to your dad now?
Yeah, it's a real connection to Dad and just seeing it as it would have been. As it sat now, perfectly darting through the air.
Yeah.
You can imagine everything behind it.
I'm so
brilliant.
pleased.
You happy?
No, honestly.
Yeah, I am.
thank you.
I'm absolutely flattered that it works for you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You ready to take it home?
yeah, indeed. Gonna look good in the house.
Who's? I was really surprised. Really
Amazed.
surprised. I didn't think it would ever look like that, ever.
Well done, you.
Oh, well done, you. Honestly, I was well made up with that one.
The way it's positioned on the stand, it's flying through the air. It looks fantastic. I think it really encapsulates Dad. It's just a great thing to look at.
The fact it's all hand-painted as well, it's just, I never knew.
As two brothers go home with their prized keepsake, thanks to Brenton, the pair of decorative ladies are almost up and ready.
I'm just doing the fine little job, which is putting the baize on the bottom so that it doesn't scratch any of Lorraine's furniture, and it just makes a final little touch to have this soft green material on the bases. That looks fabulous. I'm just going to try the mirror in there and see how that looks. That's great. I've just got to get the baize on the other one, and I can get this back to Laraine. And I'm sure that Nanny Cheeseman would be really pleased if she could see these now.
After a stroke of bad luck, these statuettes, passed down through 4 generations of women, ended up in pieces, unable to stand and hold their mirrors aloft. Lorraine's returned to the barn, hopeful her great-grandmother's cherished possessions are firmly back on their feet.
I'm really hoping that they're standing there and holding up their mirrors. They represent the strong ladies in my family, from great Nanny Cheeseman down to me, and bringing them back to life is really important. So I'm really, really excited now.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I can't wait to see myself in the mirror.
Oh.
No, I'm joking.
Right, you ready to see them, yeah?
Yeah, I can't wait.
OK, here we go.
look amazing.
Come in.
They do. Oh, look at that. They're beautiful. They look absolutely perfect. What a clever man you are. I'm so pleased with them. I really wish my nan was here, Nanny Cheeseman especially, because she loved these. Can't wait to put them on display again. They've come back to life, haven't they, really?
Definitely. After they've been on your mantelpiece, you're going to hand them down the female line?
They will get handed down the female line. It's just that I need them in my life first.
Oh, bless you. Get these packed up for you then.
Let's just take these off just in case.
Yeah.
Would hate to have to come back again next week. Thank you so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I've loved working on them.
Right, let me get the door for you.
It's lovely to meet you. Bye-bye.
You take care now.
Thank you.
All right.
Cheers, bye. I can't tell you how pleased I am that they're standing on their beautiful plinth, holding up their mirrors, looking alive again, which is exactly what I wanted. I'm really looking forward to them being on the mantelpiece. Nanny Cheeseman, I hope she's looking down, saying, "Go, girl," to me.